snowfall was gentle, a delicate dance of frozen flakes descending from the darkened sky. The small town of Eldridge was a picturesque scene, its quaint houses adorned with twinkling Christmas lights, casting a warm and inviting glow. The air was filled with the scent of pine, and the townspeople bustled about, their spirits high in anticipation of the approaching holiday. In the heart of Eldridge stood an old Victorian mansion, an imposing structure with a history shrouded in mystery. The townspeople spoke in hushed tones about the house on Hollow Hill, a place where shadows seemed to linger longer than they should, and where the echoes of bygone horrors whispered in the wind. The Brannigan family, newcomers to Eldridge, were unaware of the sinister reputation that clung to their new home. Thomas Brannigan, a successful lawyer, had decided to move his family from the bustling city to the peaceful embrace of small-town life. His wife, Eleanor, and their two children, Emily and Michael, were excited about spending their first Christmas in the charming Victorian mansion. The Brannigans, filled with holiday cheer, adorned the grand foyer with decorations, their laughter echoing through the halls. But as night fell, and the last embers of sunlight disappeared behind the horizon, a chill settled over the house. Unbeknownst to the family, the dormant spirits that haunted Hollow Hill stirred, awakened by the joyful festivities. On the eve of Christmas, the Brannigans gathered in the living room to exchange gifts and share in the warmth of the season. The fireplace crackled, casting flickering shadows on the walls. As they reveled in the joy of the holiday, a soft murmur emanated from the dark corners of the room. Eleanor dismissed it as the wind playing tricks, but the murmur grew into a low, haunting chant. Unnerved, the family exchanged uneasy glances, trying to rationalize the unsettling sounds. The grand Christmas tree stood in the center of the room, its twinkling lights casting an eerie glow on the ornaments that adorned its branches. Just as the family attempted to carry on with their celebrations, the room plunged into darkness. The lights on the tree flickered and died, leaving only the moonlight to illuminate their surroundings. A cold breeze swept through the room, extinguishing the candles and chilling the air. The Brannigans, now enveloped in an oppressive darkness, fumbled for flashlights. The once joyous atmosphere had turned into a stifling sense of foreboding. Whispers echoed through the house, and the family could feel unseen eyes watching their every move. In the dim glow of their flashlights, the Brannigans saw ghostly figures materialize before them. The specters wore tattered clothing, their faces etched with an otherworldly sadness. The room seemed to warp and twist, and the family found themselves standing in the midst of a wintry graveyard. Confused and terrified, the Brannigans tried to make sense of their surroundings. Tombstones surrounded them, their names obscured by the passage of time. The air was thick with an unnatural silence, broken only by the mournful wails of distant spirits. A ghostly figure, clad in a tattered Victorian gown, emerged from the shadows. Her hollow eyes bore into the Brannigans, and her voice, a spectral whisper, spoke of a tragedy that had befallen the house many years ago. "This house," she intoned, "is cursed. Every Christmas, the spirits of those who suffered within its walls come alive. You are now part of this eternal cycle, destined to relive the horrors of the past." Eleanor clutched her children close, fear itched across her face. Thomas, though skeptical by nature, could not deny the palpable sense of malevolence that hung in the air. The ghostly figure gestured towards the tombstones, revealing the names of the previous occupants of the mansion. As the Brannigans read the names, they realized that each family had met a tragic end on Christmas Eve, trapped in a nightmarish loop of despair. The spirits sought solace. Their torment echoed through the halls of the cursed mansion. Determined to break free from the spectral nightmare, the Brannigans pleaded with the ghostly figure for guidance. She spoke of a forgotten ritual that could appease the restless spirits and lift the curse that bound the house. The family, guided by the ghostly figure, ventured into the heart of Hollow Hill, where a decrepit chapel stood amidst the snowy landscape. The air grew colder, and the specters of the past trailed behind them, their silent pleas echoing through the night. Inside the chapel, the Brannigans discovered an ancient tome that detailed the ritual to appease the vengeful spirits. The ritual required an offering of memories, a sacrifice of the joyous moments the family had shared since their arrival in Eldridge. Reluctantly, the Brannigans began to recite the incantation, each word resonating with the weight of centuries-old sorrow. As they spoke, memories materialized in the form of ethereal wisps, swirling around them like phantoms. The ghostly figure guided them through the ritual, and as the last word left their lips, a blinding light enveloped the chapel. The memories, now transformed into a shimmering aura, ascended into the heavens, carrying with them the anguish that had plagued the spirits of Hollow Hill. The oppressive darkness lifted, and the Brannigans found themselves back in their living room, the Christmas tree bathed in warm light once again. The ghostly figures had vanished, and an otherworldly calm settled over the house. Exhausted and emotionally drained, the family collapsed on the floor. As the first light of Christmas morning dawned, the Brannigans awoke to find the mansion transformed. The air was filled with a newfound serenity, and the weight of the curse had been lifted. Eldridge, once a town steeped in whispers of horror, woke to a Christmas morning filled with hope and renewal. The Brannigans, forever changed by their ordeal, embraced the holiday with a profound appreciation for the fragility of joy. As the years passed, the story of the Brannigans and the haunted house on Hollow Hill became a legend in Eldridge. The townspeople, while still wary of the mansion's dark past, learned to celebrate Christmas with a renewed sense of gratitude and compassion. And so, each Christmas, as the snowfall blanketed Eldridge in a pristine white coat, the Brannigans gathered around the fireplace in their Victorian mansion. They shared stories of the past, not as tales of horror, but as reminders of the enduring power of love and the resilience of the human spirit in the face of darkness.